What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series First Order Stormtrooper. And so here we have the First Order Stormtrooper pose and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Thus, the First Order Stormtrooper does come with the Z6 Riot Control Baton, which does fold in and out, so you can have it in its closed state, and then you can also have it in its extended state. The Stormtrooper also does come with a riot shield, which looks really good. It is a little bit difficult getting in and out of his hands. And then finally he does have his hand blaster, which does fit in his right hand, or you can have it stored on his side, as I have him right here, which it looks really good. Other than that, the First Order Stormtrooper doesn't really come with anything else. So what we're going to do now is actually take a closer look at the First Order Stormtrooper. And so here we have a closer look at the First Order Stormtrooper, and even though he does look like a figure we have seen in the past, there are some new things about him. For example, he is sporting the new First Order Stormtrooper helmet, which this was actually the same design that we saw in The Last Jedi that carries over into The Rise of Skywalkers. I think I prefer the old First Order Stormtrooper mask just a little bit more. I don't know what it is about the First Order Stormtrooper mask, but I don't really like the really thin slit in the mouth. I don't know, there's something about it that irks me. But other than that, this is a helmet we have seen before, and it is painted fairly well. I do have a little bit of errors right here on the back, where you can see there's a scuff mark right there. I'll just chalk it up to battle damage. But having a look at the figure, it honestly does look the exact same as the original First Order Stormtrooper, with the exception being this is a newly molded plastic, so it hasn't gone through the yellowing that the original figures are going to be going through. You can see the original one does have a little bit of discoloration. This one, it has more of a bluish hue to it, which does look nice, I'll admit that, but over time I think it is going to start to turn like this one, which it's still holding up over time. Now, one thing I didn't notice about this figure is they completely retooled his arms. Now, it does look like it's the exact same arm, but you can see on the new Stormtrooper they did increase the cutout on his elbow, and that does do a lot for articulation. Other than that, it's practically the exact same figure. The hands are the same. I believe they use the exact same torso. Lower torso. Everything about this figure we have seen before, but we'll still go over some of the detail. You can see some of the black markings right here. They're really clean on this figure, and I would expect that, seeing as how this is 4 years later versus what they originally did with the Black Series. So really digging this, and they did manage to get the paint to match better with the plastic, so I am happy about that. So just overall really nice figure, and it's a really clean sculpt. I do like it, and there's something about the First Order Stormtrooper design that I enjoy, so having it in hand, you can never have too many troopers in my opinion. But other than that, there's not much more to say about the First Order Stormtrooper. It is a figure we have seen in the past, so what we're going to do now is actually move on to comparison so you can see how he stacks up to other figures in your collection. And so here we have the First Order Stormtrooper posed next to a DC Multiverse Superman and a Marvel Legends Cyclops. Here we have the First Order Stormtrooper posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have the First Order Stormtrooper posed next to the original Riot Control Stormtrooper and the original First Order Stormtrooper. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation now. The First Order Stormtrooper does have the standard Black Series articulation, which is a ball joint in the head, so he does look up and down really slightly. We get very little head pivot, so it's non-existent. We of course do get a left and right swivel. And then his head is on a hinge, which does let him look up further, and then looks down a little bit more, although because of the way the new helmet is designed, you don't get too much downward movement on that hinge, but it is enough. We do have ball joints in the arm that only go out to about that far. The original figure did go out more horizontally. Does a full 360, no problem. We do have a bend in the elbow, giving us 90 degrees, which is something we never saw on the original Stormtrooper, which I do like. And then we do have swivel at that elbow. We do have a standard or a swivel and hinge right here in the wrist, so his wrist does move up and down. We do have a ball joint in the torso, which does lean to the side, leans to the other side, does go back to about there, goes forward to about there, as well as rotates, and I believe he has no rotation at the waist because you are rotating at the upper joint. Legs do kick forward to about there, kick back to about that far, go out not that far. He does have a swivel in the thigh, which is really stiff on mine, double bend in the knee going to about there. He does have a hinge in the foot, which goes back only to about there, forward only to about there, and then forward facing pin for rock your ankle. So overall, pretty good articulation here on the First Order Stormtrooper. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the First Order Stormtrooper posed for my final thoughts. Overall, even though this is such a generic figure that we have seen in the past, I really do recommend picking up another First Order Stormtrooper, especially if you're into army building like I am. I personally have about 12 First Order Stormtroopers, so having more Stormtroopers in my collection is never a bad thing. Now, he does come with an upgraded baton, which I think is essential for Black Series figures. Again, I do like the updated articulation, but I know a lot of people won't be picking this guy up just because it is another Stormtrooper, and most people probably won't want another Stormtrooper in their collection. Me, I say you can never have too much army builders, so this guy is welcomed on my shelf. I'm thinking about picking up maybe 3 more. If you can find the First Order Stormtrooper in stores, I really do recommend you pick him up, especially if you're looking forward to the Rise of Skywalkers like I am. And I think this Stormtrooper is a really nice addition to any First Order collection. Now, the First Order Stormtrooper is starting to hit stores now as a Triple Force Friday. I did pick up my First Order Stormtrooper from Amazon, so he was about $19.99 plus tax and free shipping. That's pretty much what he's going to be running you at most retail, Walmart, Target, Walgreens, and of course Amazon. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Star Wars videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video, because YouTube doesn't let subscribers know when my videos go up. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.